The movie begins on Halloween in Gotham City. The mayor overhears a debate with opponent Riel, who wants to stop the Gotham renewal plan that would benefit Mitchell. A masked man named Riddler chased Mitchell and killed him with a hammer. He then begins wrapping duct tape around Mitchell's head. Billionaire Bruce Wayne talks about how he spent the past 2 years hunting down criminals in Gotham as Batman. He worked with the police to capture bad signals that alerted criminals that Batman was after them. Bruce tracks down a group of thugs in clown makeup who chase, harass, and beat a man. As he emerges from the subway, Bruce appears as Batman and begins defeating thugs and vowing revenge. Batman accompanies Lieutenant James Gordon to Mitchell's apartment to investigate his murder. The mystery solver left behind a card addressed to Batman, and a card with a puzzle and a code written on it. What do liars do when they die? Commission missionary Pete Savage arrives and criticizes Gordon for drawing Batman into the investigation. The Riddler believes Batman is there, but while he lies still, he realizes the mystery has been solved. Bruce returns to the Batcave and with the help of his butler, Alfred Pennyworth finds the code that identifies the drive's location. Batman and Gordon go to Mitchell's garage and discover a wrecked car containing a USB drive and Mitchell's severed thumb. They discovered incriminating photos of Mitchell and a woman named Annika outside a club called Iceberg Lounge. After refusing the gangsters' entry at the entrance, Batman goes to the Iceberg Lounge and talks to gangsters. Oswald Cobblepot or Penguin. Batman fights many thugs before confronting Penguin. He questions Penguin about Mitchell and Annika, but claims he knows nothing. Batman notices that Selina Kyle, a young woman working at the club, has access to a drug called Drop to Sell. Bruce watches. As Selina returns to the apartment he shares with his girlfriend, Annika, we see a news report about Annika's date with Mitchell since she was handed over to Batman, and Gordon opens the file after Annika goes to bed. Selina sneaks out as Catwoman and heads to Mitchell's apartment, which has been sealed off as a crime scene. Batman notices that Selina is trying to get as much information as possible about Annika. When they returned to the apartment, they found it ransacked. Annika is missing. Bruce attends Mitchell's funeral where he meets Penguin and Falcone. He learns that Bruce was raised and realizes that his father saved the life of Thomas Falcone, who was shot during a church service. Carlson's car crashed into a church. He emerges with a bomb around his neck, a phone strap in his hand, and another message for Batman. He comes in and announces, "Riddler phone call." The Riddler starts detonating the bomb and gives Carlson a puzzle that he must solve to save his life. Help Batman solve the puzzle. However, when the Riddler asks Carlson to name the rat during the trial of Gangster, Sal Maroni Carlson tells him that he will die alone, as freeing the rat would mean the lives of his family. Decide. Batman wakes up in a police station and fights several police officers. Gordon calms him down and talks to him privately. Batman tells Gordon that one of the officers in the department, Kenzie 44, was seen lying on the ground. Gordon helps distract Batman by having Gordon punch him in the face before Batman uses his flight suit to escape. Shortly before passing the bridge, he deployed his parachute and partially landed Batman, and Gordon believed Penguin to be a rat and track him down during a drug deal. Batman captures Catwoman on his own mission, but Catwoman discovers Annika's body in the trunk of his car while trying to get Penguin's money. A gunfight ensues between Batman and his men, and Gordon Batman hops into the Batmobile and chases the Penguin through the city. Penguin causes a serious accident that sends Batman flying, but the Cape Imposter jumps out of the flames and Penguin crashes Batman's car. Batman and Gordon interrogate him, but Penguin insists that he's not a rat. The two men handcuffed the man and fled in a car. Batman receives a message from the Riddler and leads him and Gordon to an abandoned orphanage to search for further clues about the Riddler's latest target. They discover a projector showing campaign footage of drug addicts and Thomas Wayne running for mayor. They realized that Bruce was the target. He flees home and attempts to contact Alfred, but the housekeeper informs Bruce that Alfred has been injured after another message to Batman explodes, and Alfred is taken to the hospital. Batman meets Selina and asks about her relationship with Falcone. She admits that she's his biological daughter. Her mother Maria, who worked at the same club, was also killed, and Mr. Falcone never took her in. Bruce goes to the club as himself to talk to Falcone and get a direct answer. Falcone confirmed the news about the reporter, but only told Bruce that his father had asked him to look after the reporter, but things escalated. He also suggested to Bruce that Marini was the one who killed his parents. Bruce visits Alfred in the hospital and confronts him about his father's actions. Alfred insists that Thomas is a really good person and is horrified by what happened to the reporter. Alfred also suspected that Falcone was the one who attacked the vulnerable person, as Thomas felt guilty about the murder and wanted to confess to the police. Just when Bruce seemed to have forgiven Alfred, they saw the bat signal. Come on, Batman and Gordon learned that Selina captured and killed Kenzie to avenge Janica. Batman convinces Gordon and Batman not to shoot him. After learning that Falcon's a rat, Kenzie admitted that almost all the updates, including the Riddler sacrifice, work for Falcon because he has a lot of subordinates. They play the recording of Annika's murder scene there. Annika tells Falcone about her involvement in the Marnie case just before he kills her. Selina kicks Kenzie off the ledge, but Batman and Gordon grab her and let her escape. Selina goes to the Iceberg Lounge to kill Falcon herself. Batman and Gordon also head there. Serena tries, but Falcon overpowers her and tries to kill her himself. He once again convinced Selina not to kill him until Batman intervened and punched Falcon in her face. Gordon tries to arrest Falcon, but the gang insults Penguin. He pulled out a gun, but someone fired, killing Falcon. Batman looked up and saw the Riddler reflected in his apartment window. Police rushed to the apartment but found it empty. He then received information from someone who had seen the Riddler descending the fire escape, and sitting in a restaurant, police found him there and arrested him without much difficulty. Authorities learned that Riddler's real name is Edward Ashton and that he's an accountant. He's locked up in our team's mental hospital. Batman talks to Riddler and Riddler says that he's jealous of all the attention Bruce Wayne is getting. Ashton is also an orphan and does not have as happy a childhood as Bruce, so he believes Batman is on his side, but Batman tells him otherwise. The Riddler hinted at a final plan that Batman was unaware of. Batman returns to the Riddler's apartment and works with another police officer to find the password to the encrypted video in it. The Riddler speaks to his supporters and discusses his grand plan to destroy the seawall surrounding Gotham Harbor and flood the city. On election night, when Lil was elected mayor, he also invited many of his supporters to join him in crime. Soon an explosion, he is heard, and the city quickly begins to fill with water. Since evacuation is not possible, authorities are trying to evacuate people to higher ground. A crowd gathers at Gotham Square Garden, but Riddler supporters show up armed and one of them shoots Lil in the arm. However, Gordon manages to protect her. Batman comes in and bites the thug as Lena shows up to help. Water hits the building and the place begins to flood. Batman picks up a smoke bomb and begins carrying people to safety. Much of the city is underwater, forcing criminals like Wynn into a power struggle. Batman is seen as a hero in the rescue effort, and he has vowed that he will personally do better and be less driven by revenge. The Riddler cries when he hears the news that his plan has been put into action, but his cellmates cheer him up and offer to be his friends, knowing that their talents can be put to good use. Wow. Then the prisoner began to let out a familiar maniacal laugh. Batman meets with Selina, but she believes Selina can no longer be saved, and she plans to head north and leave Gotham. Batman looks at her one last time before returning to her home, but the movie ends there.